Hello and welcome. I'm your host Elizibar, and this is going to be a review, the long-awaited, much-anticipated review of Jack Irons issue number. Wait for it. Wait for it. 3. Boom. Right there. It's a bright, sunshiny day outside. I'm letting some of that beautiful sunshine in. I got my window open, letting some of that cool, fresh air in. It's kind of nice in here. And what better way to spend your time on a day like this than enjoying a nice comic book? Now, take a look at the cover. Pretty cool, huh? The lightning, the dude on top of the totem. It's like a techno totem, man. I'm not quite sure. And Jack's hat on the ground. This sets up like some absolute menace right off the bat. We know there's some kind of trouble going on because the hat. Also, I guess the chunks of his armor, but really, the hat. He's not just going to leave that hat laying on the ground, so you know something must have happened. It's a good way to start the book. We're going to flip over here to, I don't know, is this page 2? I guess this is page 2. So Jack had stepped outside, and he's like, yo, I'm going to smoke. Because why not? And cool dude, wearing like half of this skull, and a bunch of little skulls around his waist, takes aim, takes a shot, and instead of shooting Jack, which you could have done, I mean, you could just, maybe you just want to assume that he missed on purpose or something, because that's what I did. Boom, into this pipe. And I don't know what this pipe is made of, dude. Like, it got shot, and it shows no real sign of damage. It's just a bullet sticking out of it. Now, the next time we see the pipe, the bullet's gone. It's one tough pipe. And so we got a chase. Dude, like, leaps off. He's going to lead Jack on a mirror chase. And they have a great little chase sequence. And it was a lot of fun to see the chase sequence. Lots of cool action happens. Remember the cover? I told you. Remember the cover, because here it is. Boom. Boom. And it turns out this like techno totem thing is like loaded for bear, has like guns and stuff in it. And it's a good time. Now, as that confrontation begins, or on goes, or however you want to look at it or put it, we like flashback. So we cut to like the framing story where Jack is telling this story to this dude in a bar. There's a fight going on in the background, which is kind of amusing. And then we flash back to 1883. What's left of the frontier? I remember that day, about as clear as anything. Bang! I shot a deer in the head. But the deer belonged to this other dude. Now, of course, this is where you go, hey, wait a second. That other dude, yeah, it's the guy that was shooting at Jack. So it's one of those stories where you've got a dude and his friend, and then they stop being friends and become enemies. Pretty classic trope in fiction. I also picked this page because of this. What happened with the printing here? What is even the counterpart to this page? Like, is that page off kilter or what? I'm just flipping through real quick to see if I can find it. Maybe it's like the other side of like one of these pages here with the art stuff on the back. I'm not sure. But that's a little off-putting to see the black from some previous page show up here. The page doesn't really look tilted funny. Oh, yes it is. Yes, it absolutely is. Hold on. I didn't notice this while I was really reading it, that the page was off kilter, but it totally is. Let's like do a measurement. We'll put this flush up against the side of the book, bring it down, and you can see, let's get flush again, that there's a little comic panel sticking out here. So either the whole page is intended to be tilted, or this page got misprinted funny. Either way, you should check with your printer and make sure they actually know how to print comic books. The origin story is pretty much what you would expect when like two immortal dudes, and that I guess it's a spoiler, are like hanging out. They drink, they get into fights, they have a good time. And that's like the meat of the book. The rest of the book is Jack trying to get on his motorcycle and go track the dude down. And we get like a little bit about New Deadwood and what society's like there. We learn more about the world. Vroom. I guess the horses are on the previous page. Did I just skip over them? Yeah, there we go. I'm going to show you the cool horses because they look pretty awesome, don't they? I dug those. That's a great design, by the way. Absolutely A+. There's a few bits in the book with the art that I don't particularly like. She looks kind of comical in this long shot here. He does too, but it really sticks out on her because, she's almost proportioned like a normal human being, whereas Jack has this little tiny, like, his head is like the size of an apple compared to the size of his huge, bulky death body, right? So, when she is on camera and in some of those longer range shots, she looks a little funny. She looks fine in close-ups, though. Plot-wise, we're setting stuff up. I'm going to say something maybe a little controversial here. And I want you to brace yourself. But except for the little girl, which she was, her rescue, that was an issue 2, right? I don't remember. But except for like the little girl that Jack rescued, like absolutely none of the previous 2 issues really matters for this story, for this issue. Like you could just pick this up and read it and you're fine. You lose a little of the world building, you lose information about Famine Inc., but we also don't know that much about those things at this point. So I'm not sure that the first 2 issues really needed to exist for this issue to exist. This issue has a lot more oomph, a lot more meat going on in it, which made it a good read. Once I started reading it, I didn't stop. Like, I couldn't put the book down. I couldn't look away from it. I just had to keep going. It sucked me right in. Which, that's a lot better than what the second book did, because the second book was like, hey, you're reading an RPG supplement. Like, that was what it kind of felt like. This was just like, hey, we're setting up some stakes. We're setting up a rivalry. It's going to be cool. And I had a good time reading it. Boy, I really like the way this looks on the cover, man. It's got this, like, screen tone effect over it. Really cool looking. All in all, Jack Irons Steel Cowboy issue 3, best issue of the bunch. I don't have any real complaints about this issue except for some quibbles with the art in a few places. And all those quibbles are with the same character. I don't remember what her name is. But the sheriff of New Deadwood. I guess she's the sheriff. The law of New Deadwood. The person who runs the place. Like, her, in longer shots, she looks a little goofy. But most of the rest of the time, she's fine. And then, over the course of the book, like, everything just looks pretty cool. So, I had a great time reading this. Good job. You got a thumbs up. Anyway, all of you out there playing the home game, check this stuff out. Look up Jack Irons on Twitter. Connect with Cody. He's got like a Twitch channel and a YouTube and a Periscope and a Twitter and who knows what else, man. He's probably got like a Facebook and a Pinterest where he puts like cowboy art. I don't know. I made those last 2 up, but that last one would be kind of fun. And if you're not doing that already, Cody, you should probably make like a Pinterest and have cowboy art in it. Know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Bye-bye.